السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أزواجه وذريته كما صليت على آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى أزواجه وذريته كما باركت على آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. أما بعد, today is the 16th or the 17th of Safar 1437, and it matches the 28th of November 2015. And we have this section with Al-Imam Ibn al-Qayyim. Last time it was from the book الداء والدواء, the disease and the cure, or the same book that is given another title, الجواب الكافي, the sufficient reply لمن سأل عن الدواء الشافي, the sufficient reply for the one who asked for a healing cure. Last time it was about jealousy. This time he speaks about al-haya, again within the same topic, the evil effects of sins and disobediences. One of them is that it will have haya, shyness or modesty, go away. It will remove it. It will kill it. So he said, من عقوباتها, from the evil punishments of the sins and disobediences, ذهاب الحياء. This is page 105 who are following the same copy. This is page 105. ذهاب الحياء, that the shyness going away. الذي هو مادة حياة القلب, the shyness, the modesty which is the substance causing the heart to live, to be alive. So one of the evil consequences of sins and disobediences is that they will make the haya, the shyness, the modesty, they will make it go away. And shyness is the cause having the heart to be alive. وهو أصل كل خير. Shyness and modesty is the root, is the origin of every goodness. وذهابه ذهاب الخير أجمعه. And for it to go, for shyness to be going away, then this means all goodness is going away. He says, وفي الصحيح, this is in Sahih Muslim, Hadith 37, عنه, from him عليه الصلاة والسلام, أنه قال, الحياء خير كله. Shyness, modesty, all of it is good. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام, and this is in Sahih al-Bukhari, Hadith 5769, he said عليه الصلاة والسلام, إن مما أدرك الناس من كلام النبوة الأولى إذا لم تستحي فاصنع ما شئت. That part of what has reached the people, or part of what the people attained from the speech of the early prophethood, yani the words of the early prophets, they made statements and words. From the statements and words that were carried over generations and the people were able to achieve and get is, if you are not shy, then do whatever you wish. Now this hadith is going to come in the other book, the 50 hadith. But here we have an explanation of this hadith from Al-Imam Ibn al-Qayyim alayhi rahmatullah. He said, وَفِيهِ تَفْسِيرًا. This hadith has two ways of explaining it. أحدهما, one of them, أنه على التهديد والوعيد, that it has the sense of warning, issuing a threat. If you are not shy, do what you want, do what you wish. It is having the sense of a warning or a threat in it. والمعنى, the meaning, من لم يستحي, the one who is not shy, فإنه يصنع ما شاء من القبائح. The one who is not shy, then he will do whatever he wishes of the horrible and ugly things. إذ الحامل على تركها الحياء, because what leads one to leave those ugly, evil, horrible things, what leads them to leave it or leave them is al-haya, is actually shyness. فإذا لم يكن هناك حياء يردعه, if there is no shyness that will deter him, that will repel him and push him away, make him desist, يردعه عن القبائح, to deter him from doing horrible and ugly things, فإنه يواقعها, then the person will be carrying out, will be falling into these evil, ugly, horrible things. He said, وهذا تفسير أبي عبيد. This is the explanation of the scholar, a well-known scholar, Abu Ubaid عليه رحمة الله. والثاني, now this is the second meaning of this hadith, أن الفعل إذا لم تستحي منه من الله فافعله. That if the action, you are not shy from it, يعني from doing it, you are not shy from Allah because you are doing it, then do it. وإنما الذي ينبغي تركه هو ما يستحيا منه من الله. What actually one should be leaving out is what causes you to be shy from Allah. Shy to do it while Allah is seeing you, right? Doing it. That's what you do, what you need to leave. He said, وهذا تفسير الإمام أحمد في رواية ابن هانئ. This is the explanation of Imam Ahmad from the narration of Ibn Hani. فعلى الأول يكون تهديدا. According to the first meaning, if you're not shy, do whatever you wish. According to the first meaning, it will be a threat. كقوله, like Allah's statement, اعملوا ما شئتم. اعملوا ما شئتم. Do what you wish. That's Surah Fussilat, ayah number 40. Right? فمن شاء فليؤمن. The one who wishes, let him believe. ومن شاء فليكفر. And the one who wishes, let him disbelieve. Some people think that this is now giving you the option, right? Do this, it's okay. Do that, it's okay. Which Allah gave you the choice to choose, yes. But this is a threat actually. Right? Because right after it says, وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ, the one who wishes, let him disbelieve. إِنَّا أَعْتَدْنَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ, surely we prepared for the wrongdoers, for the polytheists, we have prepared for them a fire. The fence of it is going to surround them. Right? So yes, you are given the choice, you're not being forced, but it's not like you're given the choice to do what you wish. If you want to be bad, be bad. If you want to be good, be good. You have to be good, but that's, you have to choose to be good, right? Otherwise, the warning and the threat will be there. So this hadith, the first meaning is like a threat. If you're not shy, then do what you want. Allah, meaning Allah will punish you for whatever you do, right? وعلى الثاني يكون إذنا وإباحة. According to the second meaning, it will be a permission and allowance. If something you're not shy from doing, does not make you become shy from Allah, right? Then do it. Otherwise, leave it, right? So the second meaning is like permission and allowance. If you're not shy, you can do it. فإن قيل فهل من سبيل على حمله على المعنيين. If it was said, is there a way that we can take those two meanings, give the hadith those two meanings, right? We say it means this and it also means that. He said, قلت لا. I said no. I say no. ولا على قول من يحمل المشترك على جميع معانيه. Not even according to the position of the one who will give the wording or the statement that carries more than one meaning, and those meanings may be both in that statement. Some scholars are of that position. that if the statement carries this meaning and that meaning, then let's take both meanings, right? So he says, even according to these scholars, right, we cannot use it for both meanings at the same time, to take this statement of the Prophet ﷺ to give the both meanings at the same time, لما بين الإباحة والتهديد من المنافاة, because allowance and a threat, they negate one another. They cannot be combined in one thing, right? ولكن, he said, but in the end, اعتبار أحد المعنيين يوجب اعتبار الآخر. But for us to consider to give weight to taking one meaning, then it necessitates the other meaning, right? Both meanings are true. Both meanings are true, and they should lead to one another. المقصود, the intent, the objective, أن الذنوب تضعف الحياء من العبد. Sins and disobediences, they weaken the quality of shyness and modesty from the servant. حتى ربما انسلخ منه بالكلية, to a point that he may strip out, get out, right? Slip out of this shyness completely. He will come out of it completely. حتى إنه ربما لا يتأثر بعلم الناس بسوء حاله ولا باطلاعهم عليه, to a point that he does not get affected at all by the people knowing the evil condition he is in, and not even by them seeing him doing whatever he's doing of the sins and disobediences. بل rather, he goes on to say, rather كثير منهم, many of them, يخبر عن حاله وقبح ما يفعل. He informs about the horrible situation he's in and what the ugly things that he is committing. والحامل له على ذلك, what is leading him to do this, انسلاخه من الحياء, him completely being stripped out of haya, him being completely slipping out of this quality of shyness. وإذا وصل العبد إلى هذه الحال لم يبق في صلاحه مطمع. Said, if the servant reaches this condition, reaches this situation, then there is no hope. There is no hope in him being rectified and reformed. He's so much, he reached a very sad states of affairs where he doesn't care about people knowing the evil he is committing, seeing the evil that he is committing, even him telling them what he is doing, even if they don't hear, they don't see, he is volunteering that information. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. If one reaches this state, then there's almost no hope of reform, no hope of rectification for a person who is like this. And he mentions a line of poetry here. It says, وَإِذَا رَأَى إِبْلِيسُ طَلْعَةَ وَجْهِهِ حَيَّ وَقَالَ فَدَيْتُ مَنْ لَا يُفْلِحُ. It should be مَنْ لَمْ يُفْلِحِ, according to those who said the line of poetry is ending with a kasra. But anyhow, this is how it is mentioned here. It says, if Iblis show the coming or the emergence of his face, of his countenance, right? The face of this person, if Iblis sees that, he says that hayya, he will greet him and he will say, I ransom, I offer my life for a person like this who is never successful, right? Who can never be successful, right? And this is the case. They become so completely unmodest, no shyness whatsoever, so bold, so open that the shaitan is so happy to see those people, right? And he will greet them and he say, you're so good, and he will cheer them for this lack of no shyness whatsoever that they had. He said, وَالْحَيَاءُ مُشْتَقٌ مِنَ الْحَيَاءِ. Al-haya, shyness, modesty, is actually derived from al-hayatu, min al-hayati, right? From life. Al-haya is life. Life. Like hayatul dunya, the life of this world, right? Al-akhirah, al-haya, al-akhirah, right? Al-haya, the word haya means life. So the word haya with a hamza, shyness, modesty, is actually derived from haya, which is life, living. وَالْغَيْثُ يُسَمَّى حَيَا بِالْقَصْرِ. The rescuing rain is called in Arabic haya. So you have haya with the hamza at the end on the line. You have haya or hayatun, which is with the ta marbuta at the end. And you have haya, which is without hamza, without ta, haya, right? Haya is, jazakallahu khairan, barakallahu feek. This is a name or a title given for the rain that comes and brings relief and rescue to the people. Haya, right? لأن به حياة الأرض والنبات والدواب. This haya, this rain, it causes the life for the earth, for the plants, and for the creatures, the beasts. وكذلك بالحياء حياة الدنيا والآخرة. According to our copy here, it says سميت بالحياء. I think سميت according to another copy and on other manuscripts it shouldn't be there. He says, it goes on, وكذلك, likewise, بالحياء, through modesty and shyness, حياة الدنيا والآخرة. Through modesty and shyness is the life in this world and in the next world. فمن لا حياء فيه ميت في الدنيا شقي في الآخرة. The one who has no shyness, no modesty, he is dead in this worldly life, and he is from the sad, wretched, miserable people in the next life. وبين الذنوب وبين قلة الحياء وعدم الغيرة تلازم من الطرفين. He says between sins and lack of modesty, lack of shyness, and the fact that there is the non-existence of jealousy, there is correlation from both ends, right? Necessitation. This necessitates the other, this one necessitates the other one, right? So forward and reverse. It works both ways. This connects you to the other, and the other one connects you to the other one, right? So there is this talazum, there is correlation between them. يعني the fact that they do not separate from one another. They are inseparable, right? وكل منهما يستدعي الآخر ويطلبه حثيثا. Each one of them calls the other and seeks it quickly, right? And he is following it very closely, right? You have sins, lack of shyness, and no jealousy, right? So those follow each other, right? Those, they follow one another. Each one is seeking the other very seriously, right? ومن استحيا من الله عند معصيته استحيا الله من عقوبته يوم يلقاه. And the one who is shy from Allah when disobeying Him, then Allah is shy from punishing him. Allah is shy to punish him on the day when he meets him. ومن لم يستحي من معصيته لم يستحي من عقوبته. And the one who is not shy to disobey Allah Allah is not going to be shy to punish him. Right? So once again, he says, if one is shy from Allah at the time of disobedience, then Allah will be shy to punish him on the Day of Judgment. And the opposite is true. If one is not shy to disobey, Allah is not going to be shy to punish. Right? طيب. So the issue of shyness, inshallah, is one of the main qualities of Islam. Even Rasulullah sallallahu he says that every religion, every deen has a characteristic, a specific quality that stands out, right? A specific quality. إن لكل دين خلقا. Every religion has a moral, right? يعني moral that stands out. And خلق الإسلام الحياء. The moral of Islam, this characteristic, this quality in Islam pertaining to manners or morals is al-haya, shyness. And there are many other things that can be said about Allah. One of his names is al-hayy, right? And the famous hadith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is shy from his servant raising up his hands to him. Allah becomes shy to return those hands sifran, that they have nothing in them. And you raise up your hands and you put them down with nothing. Allah is shy not to put something in your hand. If you ask him, he will give you whatever you want. He will give you. He will not return those hands with nothingness in them, right? And on, inshallah. Next he says, al-ma'asi tud'ifu ta'zim al-rabb, that from the evil consequences of the sins is that they weaken within the heart the glorification of the Lord Jalla Jalaluh. وَتُضْعِفُ وَقَارَهُ, it will weaken his regard and respect في قلب العبد ولابد, in the heart of the servant, and this is a must. شاء أم أبى, whether he wished or he refused to recognize and admit this. The sins and disobediences will lead to weakening the glorification and the regard for Allah in the heart of the servant. This is a must, whether he admits or he doesn't. ولو تمكن وقار الله وعظمته في قلب العبد لما تجرأ على معاصيه. If the regard, respect and greatness and glorification of Allah was firmly established in the heart of the servant, he will not dare, he will not have the guts to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَرُبَّمَا اغْتَرَّ الْمُغْتَرُّ, maybe someone will be deceived. The one who is deceived, he will be deceived by the fact that he will say وَقَالْ إِنَّمَا يَحْمِلُنِي عَلَى الْمَعَاصِي حُسْنُ الرَّجَاءِ, what leads me to disobey is having good hope in Allah. وَطَمَعِي فِي عَفْوِهِ, that I have wish and I have greed that Allah will pardon me. لا ضعف عظمته في قلبي, not the fact that his glorification is lacking, is weak in my heart. What leads me to disobey is hoping for his forgiveness, not that I am basically having less glorification or having less greatness for Allah in my heart. He said هذا من مغالطة النفس. This, he says, is the person, he is just confusing himself and basically causing himself to be faulty, right, to fall into error, right? He says فإن عظمة الله تعالى وجلاله في قلب العبد تقتضي تعظيم حرماته. For surely the greatness of Allah, his greatness, glorification, and jalal, his grandeur, the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the heart of the servant, it necessitates glorifying, aggrandizing things that he has, his prohibitions. وتعظيم حرماته يحول بينه وبين الذنوب. And also aggrandizing the prohibitions of Allah, it will be a barrier. It will bar him from committing sins. والمتجرئون على معاصيه ما قدر الله حق قدره. Those who dare to disobey Allah, they did not estimate Allah the due estimation. They did not give Allah the due regard subhanahu wa ta'ala. وكيف يقدره حق قدره أو يعظمه أو يكبره ويرجو وقاره ويجله من يهون عليه أمره ونهيه. He says then, how is it that one will give due estimation to him, or glorify him, or aggrandize him, or hope to have to give Allah his due respect and regard and give him glorification? How is it will be done? How can this be done by the one whom the commands and prohibitions of Allah, they are very low in his eyes. They are easy for him to violate those, right? How could this be? He says هذا من أمحل المحال وأبين الباطل. This is something that is quite impossible, most impossible of the impossible things, and from the clearest of falsehoods, right? So you cannot combine both. You dare violate Allah's prohibitions, Allah's orders, then you claim you aggrandize him, you glorify him, and so on and so forth. These they cannot combine. He said وكفى بالعاصي عقوبة أن يضمحل من قلبه تعظيم الله جل جلاله وتعظيم حرماته ويهون عليه حقه is enough for the sinner in terms of punishment. Enough for him as punishment is that the glorification of Allah Azza wa Jal in his heart will vanish. يضمحل, it will vanish. And also glorifying and aggrandizing his prohibitions, and the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will become so low in his eyes, right? It will be easy for him to violate. He goes on to say وَمِن بَعْضِ عُقُوبَةِ هَذَا, and from some of the punishments that this person will receive, أن يرفع الله عز وجل مهابته من قلوب الخلق, that Allah will remove the respect and the regard that this person has in the hearts of the people. So Allah will remove that from the hearts of the creation. وَيَهُونَ عَلَيْهِمْ, he will be someone who does not have that value in their eyes. He becomes low in their eyes. وَيَسْتَخِفُّونَ بِهِ, they will take him lightly. They will take him as a joke, as a nobody. يَسْتَخِفُّونَ بِهِ. كَمَا هَانَ عَلَيْهِ أَمْرُهُ وَاسْتَخَفَّ بِهِ. Exactly like the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was low in his eyes, and like he took it lightly and easily. فَعَلَى قَدْرِ مَحَبَّةِ الْعَبْدِ لِلَّهِ يُحِبُّهُ النَّاسِ. For according to how much amount of love that the servant has for Allah, then the people will love him accordingly. وَعَلَى قَدْرِ خَوْفِهِ مِنَ اللَّهِ يَخَافُهُ الْخَلْقِ. and according to how much fear he has of Allah, then the people will fear him. وعلى قدر تعظيمه لله وحرماته يعظم الناس حرماته. He said, and according to how much, or according to the amount of glorification that he has for Allah and for his prohibitions, then the people will aggrandize and glorify his prohibitions, the person's prohibitions, right? So if you obey the commandments of Allah and glorify and give them due regard, then the people will look up to you, and they will also abide by whatever you command, your commandments. And otherwise, that's, if not, then that's what will happen to you exactly. It has passed before that someone, he got roughed up, right? So he said, I know what I have done, right? Even if his wife, speaks to him in a bad way, or if he rides the animal doesn't want to start or doesn't want to, so he says, I know what I have done, exactly like he was disobedient, then the people become, and the creation become disobedient, right? He said, وَكَيْفَ يَنْتَهِكُ عَبْدٌ حُرُمَاتِ اللَّهِ وَيَطْمَعُ أَنْ لَا يَنْتَهِكَ النَّاسُ حُرُمَاتِهِ. How is it that the servant will violate Allah's prohibitions, then he would hope that his prohibitions will not be violated? أَمْ كَيْفَ يَهُونُ عَلَيْهِ حَقُّ اللَّهِ وَلَا يُهَوِّنُهُ اللَّهُ عَلَى النَّاسِ. How is it that the right of Allah will be so low in his eyes, will be so low and given a low regard, and then Allah would not make him low in the eyes of the people, or to the people? أَمْ كَيْفَ يَسْتَخِفُّ بِمَعَاصِي اللَّهِ وَلَا يَسْتَخِفُّ بِهِ الْخَلْقِ. How is it that he will take the disobediences of Allah, he will take them lightly? How is it then that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not cause the people to also again take him lightly, ridicule him? وقد أشار سبحانه إلى هذا في كتابه عند ذكر عقوبات الذنوب. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he pointed out to this in his book when he mentioned the evil punishments, or the punishments for sins. وأنه أركس أربابها بما كسبوا, as in Surah An-Nisa ayah 88. Allah mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cast some people back, returned them back, he flipped them back, right? Because of the sins that they have earned. Wallahu arkasahum bima kasabu. About the hypocrites, Surah An-Nisa ayah 88, Allah made them flip, reverted them because of what they have earned of the sins. وَغَطَّى عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ. Allah covered their hearts. فَطَبَعَ عَلَيْهَا بِذُنُوبِهِمْ. Allah sealed their hearts because of their sins. وَأَنَّهُ نَسِيَهُمْ كَمَا نَسُوهُ. He forgot them as they have forgotten him, right? So because they forgot about Allah, Allah forgot them, right? This forgetfulness here, or forgetting here, right? Forgetting that is done deliberately here as a punishment, not the forgetfulness that you forgot some information. Allah is high above that, as all you know. That's why this is now, today we will forget you, right? They are told, we will forget you, right? The one who forgets information, he just forgot it. You don't say, I will forget you. Even when you say this, even in the English language is used the same, You want to do something and then you say, just forget it. Forget it meaning, just leave it alone, ignore it deliberately, not, lack of information or the information is lost, right? So they forgot Allah, Allah forgot about them. وَأَهَانَهُمْ كَمَا أَهَانُوا دِينَهُ. Allah despised them as they have treated His religion with despise. وَضَيَّعَهُمْ كَمَا ضَيَّعُوا أَمْرَهُ. Allah made them lost. They got lost as they have treated His command in the same way. They made it lost. The command was lost. They didn't care about it. So then they are treated in the same way. ولهذا قال تعالى في آية سجود المخلوقات. This is why Allah said in the verse of the prostration of the creation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about that, when mentioning the creation prostrating to Allah Azza wa Jal, وَمَنْ يُهِنِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ مُكْرِمٍ. Whomever Allah humiliates, there is no one to honor. There is no one that will honor him. Whomever Allah humiliates, whomever Allah puts down, there is no one that will give him any kind of honor. Surah Al-Hajj, ayah number 18. فَلَمَّا هَانَ عَلَيْهِمُ السُّجُودُ لَهُ. So when prostrating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was despised by them, was low for them, they did not give it any care. وَاسْتَخَفُّوا بِهِ. They took it lightly, they ridiculed that. وَلَمْ يَفْعَلُوا. And they did not do it, they did not prostrate to Allah. أَهَانَهُمُ اللَّهُ. Allah humiliated them. فَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُمْ مِنْ مُكْرِمٍ بَعْدَ أَنْ أَهَانَهُمُ اللَّهُ. Then no one was to honor them after Allah Azza wa Jal humiliated them. وَمَنْ ذَا يُكْرِمُ مَنْ أَهَانَهُ اللَّهُ. And who will be able to honor the one whom Allah dishonors and humiliates? أَوْ يُهِينُ مَنْ أَكْرَمَهُ اللَّهُ. Who will be able to humiliate and dishonor the one whom Allah honors? And next he says, from the evil consequences of the sins, أنها تستدعي نسيان الله لعبده وتركه. The sins will lead to the fact, they will call for Allah forgetting the servant and leaving him, abandoning him. وتخليته بينه وبين نفسه وشيطانه. And leaving alone between himself and his shaitan, right? So Allah abandons him, so he is between himself and his own self and his shaitan, right? وهذا أهلك الهلاك الذي لا يرجى منه نجاة. This is the most severe type of destruction from which no salvation is hoped. قال الله تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله. O you who believe, fear Allah, be mindful of Allah, be God conscious. وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسُ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ. And let every soul, let a soul, a person, look into what it has offered for tomorrow, for the next life. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهِ. Fear Allah. إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Surely Allah is well aware of what you do. وَلَا تَكُونُوا. Do not be كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهِ. Do not be like those who forgot Allah. فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. So He made them forget themselves. أُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. Such are the wicked. Surah Al-Hashr 18 and 19. So فَأَمَرَ بِتَقْوَى. He commanded to have taqwa for him subhanahu wa ta'ala, piety. وَنَهَى أَنْ يَتَشَبَّهَ عِبَادُهُ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَنْ نَسِيَهُ بِتَرْكِ تَقْوَى. And He forbade that His believing servants be like, He forbade that His believing servants become similar or mimic and imitate the one who forgot him by abandoning having piety for him سبحانه وتعالى. وأخبر أنه عقاب من ترك التقوى بأن أنساه نفسه. He informed that the punishment of the one who leaves and abandons piety is that he will make him forget his own self. Forget his own self, he explains now, أي أنساه مصالحها, meaning he made him forget things of benefit for himself. وما ينجيها من عذابه, he made them forget also what saves this self of his torment. وما يوجب له الحياة الأبدية, and what he will make him forget what necessitates for him the perpetual everlasting life. وكمال لذتها وسرورها ونعيمها, and the perfect joy and happiness and bliss for it. He will make him forget that. فأنساه ذلك كله جزاء لما نسيه من عظمته وخوفه. He made him forget all of that as a reward, as a punishment for what he forgot of his glorification and his fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. والقيام بأمره, and establishing his commandments. He forgot that, so Allah made him forget that. فترى العاصي, so you see the disobedient, مهملا لمصالح نفسه مضيعا له. You find the disobedient people, they are neglectful of benefits, things of benefit for themselves, and they are wasteful of these benefits. قد أغفل الله قلبه عن ذكره. Allah made his heart heedless and unaware of the remembrance of Allah. واتبع هواه وكان أمره فرطا. He followed his desire, and his affair was all described as at loss. At loss. قد انفرطت عليه مصالح دنياه وآخرته. The benefits of his worldly life and the next life, they are so dispersed, so spread out, split up. They have gone away from him, right? وقد فرط في سعادته الأبدية واستبدل بها أدنى ما يكون من لذة. He has neglected, he has wasted the everlasting happiness, and he exchanged that with the lowest of what he can get of a joy. إنما هي سحابة صيف أو خيال طيف. This joy that he preferred over what is beneficial for him, this joy of sin that he is, of the sin that he is doing, right? He said it's just like a cloud in the summer, right? A cloud in the summer, right? And you get rain in the summer, but then not as much, especially if you are in those hot lands, right? Hardly see any cloud, right? أو خيال طيف, and just an imaginary thing that is passing by, خيال, an image, right? Something that is not real. كما قيل أحلام نوم أو كظل زائل إن اللبيب بمثلها لا يخدع. He mentions this line of poetry which says, dreams of sleep, or like a shade that is just going transient, it will just go away very quickly. كظل زائل. You get some shade and then it goes, the sun moves and the shade will go away and it will finish, right? إن اللبيب, surely the wise person, the one who has intellect and intelligent, بمثلها لا يخدع. He will not be deceived by something like it, the worldly pleasures. وأعظم العقوبات نسيان العبد لنفسه وإهماله لها. The most severe of the punishments is the servant forgetting his own self and him neglecting it. وَإِضَاعَةُ حَظِّهَا وَنَصِيبِهَا مِنَ اللَّهِ, and him being wasteful of its share of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَبَيْعُهَا ذَلِكَ بِالْغُبْنِ, right? It selling this share of it from Allah by al-ghubn, right? Being deceived regarding it, being giving the low price. بالغبن والهوان وأبخس الثمن, right? By being wronged in terms of price and with being given a very low price and the lowest of the prices, right? And you're selling off your share, the amount that you should get of closeness and connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He sells that off. Yani this is from the worst types of, the most severe types of punishment. You forget what is beneficial for you. You waste it, and وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, you are completely neglectful of it. You waste your share of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You sell it off with the lowest of prices. فضيع من لا غنى له عنه ولا عوض له منه واستبدل به من عنه كل الغنى ومنه كل العوض. He says, now this person, he lost the one whom he cannot do without. You cannot do without Allah, right? You are always needy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Never you are unneedy. You are always needy. But then those worldly joys, you don't need them. So he says, he lost the one whom he is going to be always in need of. لا عوض له منه. He has no replacement for him. Yani there are things you can replace. Allah, you cannot replace. If you lost that, you cannot replace. واستبدل به, and he exchanged for that من عنه كل الغنى, right? He exchanged with that something that you are absolutely unneedy of it. You have no need for it. ومنه كل العوض, and he replaced it with that which you can always find a replacement. And he mentions a line of poetry here which says, من كل شيء إذا ضيعته عوض وما من الله إن ضيعته عوض. He says, from everything, if you lost it, everything, if you lost it, then there is a replacement. Anything you lose from those worldly things, there is a replacement for it, something that will compensate for it. وَمَا مِنَ اللَّهِ إِن ضَيَّعْتَهُ عِوَضٌ, and you will not have a replacement of for Allah if you lost it. You cannot replace Allah with anything, but anything else can be replaced, right? فَاللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ يُعَوِّضُ عَنْ كُلِّ مَا سِوَاهُ وَلَا يُعَوِّضُ مِنْهُ شَيْءٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can replace you, compensate you and replace you from anything else other than Him, right? And then nothing will replace Allah. There is nothing that will replace Allah. وَيُغْنِي عَنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَلَا يُغْنِي عَنْهُ شَيْءٌ. Allah will give you sufficiency and will make you not needy of anything else. But while there is nothing that will suffice you from Allah, right? There is nothing that will suffice you, that will give you sufficiency if you lost Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَيُجِيرُ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَلَا يُجِيرُ مِنْهُ شَيْءٍ. Allah protects Allah gives protection from everything, and there is nothing that can give protection from Him. وَيَمْنَعُ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَلَا يَمْنَعُ مِنْهُ شَيْءٍ. Also, He can prevent and bar everything from happening to you, but then there is nothing that will stop and bar Him from doing anything He wants to you. فكيف يستغني العبد عن طاعة من هذا شأنه طرفة عين. He said, how is it that the servant will be acting as if he is not needy? يستغني, he will be, how is it that the servant will be unneedy from obeying the one whom this is his level, this is his status? How can he be unneedy for him even the blinking of an eye? Right? Even that time you can't. You are always in need. And we studied in the Tahawiyah, من استغنى عن الله طرفة عين فقد هلك وصار من أهل الحين. Right? He put it nicely, rhyming like that. Right? That the one who would feel unneedy to Allah, even the blinking of an eye, the time that takes for a blinking of an eye, then he is completely destroyed, and he became from the people of loss and destruction. Right? وكيف ينسى ذكره ويضيع أمره حتى ينسيه نفسه فيخسرها ويظلمها أعظم الظلم. How is it then that he will forget remembering Him, and he will be treating His commandments with basically negligence and being at loss regarding them, losing them, to a point that he will make him forget himself, so he will lose himself and he will wrong it, the greatest kind of wrongdoing. فما ظلم العبد ربه ولكن ظلم نفسه. So the servant did not really oppress or wrong his Lord, but rather he wronged and oppressed his own self. وما ظلمه ربه ولكن هو الذي ظلم نفسه. And his Lord did not really wrong him, he did not oppress him, but rather he is the one who wronged and oppressed his own self. I think we will stop here, inshallah ta'ala.